What's up, guys? It's Nate here from the Yakuza, and today I'm going to have a chapter review slash breakdown of the new One Piece chapter 944 called Partner. So 943 ended in a very tense situation, very exciting moment, and that's right where 944 picks up, so let's just get into it. Zoro and Sanji are there protecting Otoko. Zoro tells Sanji, here, you take care of Otoko, and he sets his sights on Orochi. He fires off a 720-pound cannon, and it's about to hit Orochi, and then in comes Kiyoshiro. He comes in and blocks it from hitting him, and right after that happens, it goes back to Sanji, who's holding Otoko, and behind him is Drake in full T-Rex form. And Sanji gets like a little ding, obviously it's probably observation hockey, and he realizes behind him is Drake. So most likely, it does flash back to Zoro, who is progressing towards Orochi, and he is trying to, obviously he's going after Orochi, and he runs into Kiyoshiro again, who is just not going to let him through. So basically, Zoro's going to fight Kiyoshiro, and Sanji is going to fight Drake. Very, very exciting stuff. Also, it is worth mentioning that the other Straw Hats that were there also got involved with us, so that includes Nami, Robin, Frankie, and Usopp are all involved. And Kiyoshiro says that Orochi should be careful and have more bodyguards with him if he intends to leave the castle. So they're taking Orochi back to the castle, but as Orochi's going there, he tells everyone, he said, kill everyone who dare to defy the execution. And he wants them suppressed, but he said if you have to kill them, you can. So now there's basically a kill list, and on it is Zoro, Sanji, Robin, Nami, Frankie, and Usopp. All of them are on a kill list now, they could be killed if they need to be. And more importantly, it's announced this is a rebellion. It is said that a rebellion is happening, which is, kind of a step up. Most of the encounters we've had so far have been slight brushes with the Beast Pirates, and basically if they could escape the situation, they were okay. But here, Zoro and Sanji have even kind of made a name for themselves already, because they recognize, it's Sanji, the guy who stood up at the soba shop. It's Zoro. They have names for them. They've done stuff already whenever since they've been at Wano, and people kind of recognize them. More importantly, they call this a rebellion. It's going to be much harder, I assume, for them to get out of the situation if they plan to retreat and then stick to the plan, which I think somehow they will. I don't think the plan's going to go awry quite yet. I think it's a little bit early for that, but only time will tell. That's basically all that happens there. It was really exciting. Like, fights are going to happen, so I'm very, very happy for that. Also, it's worth mentioning that Frankie does recover Yasuo's body, which is good because I don't want to put him on display, but no significance right now for that. Then we flash over to Udon, where Luffy's watching this happen. And Queen's like, are those your friends? And Luffy, being Luffy's like, no, they're not my friends, but he says that while he's cheering Zoro on, so of course, Queen immediately is like, also they are, we know. Anyways, so they bring two people in to the prison. They said, we've captured these two people. And of the two people, we have Kamazao, the manslayer, which he had a run with Zoro earlier. We know about him. And we have Kid. Kid has been recaptured. And upon his entry, they're like, we're going to execute them. Anyone who's escaped from this prison, they get executed. So, and they mentioned whenever they got Kid that he really didn't put up a fight. He, shouted some stuff at him, approached them, charged at him, and they shot him a couple times, and he didn't even resist. So, and I thought that was kind of weird. He had his C-Stin cuffs on still, so I immediately was like, oh, he's just weakened because he has C-Stin on him. That's why. But still, that didn't quite make sense. It's like, well, why would he charge them? Kid's not dumb. Even if he wants to fight them, if he knows he can't win, why would he do that? So and the confusion just continues from there, because then Kid starts talking about someone who used to hate their laugh. And you don't know initially who it is, but then you realize that Kamazal is the one laughing. And it's like, how does Kid know about Kamazal? Because Kid said, you used to hate your laugh. Anyone who made fun of your laugh, you'd leave them nearly dead. You eventually even put on a mask to leave all of that behind you. And why? So he says, why now? Why suddenly are you laughing again? What have they done to you? What has changed you? And then it shows who it is, or what. Well, you don't entirely know because you've never seen him. It turns out Kamazal is actually Killer. And not only that, but whenever he was captured, they forced him to eat a smile, and it failed. So he is now suffering the aftermath of eating a failed smile, and he obviously it's just very different, as Kid said, and Kid is furious. Look, I understand that Kid's a ruthless guy. He got famous by killing people, and it's not like these other pirates out there are doing good things necessarily. Sometimes they do, but they're doing what they want to do. That's the whole idea behind some of the pirates, like Whitebeard or Luffy, for example. They like the idea of just living as freely as they possibly can, which means doing what you want. But it doesn't necessarily mean going out of your way to be an asshole. Whereas Kid, that's not the case. He wants to be an asshole. He wants to kill people. He wants to make a name for himself, which he did. But it is important to note that no matter how ruthless someone might be in this series, your family, or sorry, I said it backwards. Your crew is like family. Your family is like crew. It's the same thing. Your crew is like family. You are like brethren whenever you're on the same pirate crew in One Piece. So as ruthless as Kid is, he is pissed. He is not the kind of person to say, oh, that is just, that's just my first mate, whatever. Yeah, it hurts. I lost my first mate, but I'll just find someone else who's strong that'll follow me. No, they are partners, he says. He shouts, what did you do to my partner? So Kid is pissed. And then, obviously, because of this turn of events, you realize Kid let himself get captured to come back to this prison so he could just go on a rampage, or at least get to the bottom of what has happened to his partner. So that happens, and they tie up Killer and Kid upside down. You got a chain, you got their feet, their heads down here, and then below that they have water, and they're dunking them into the water, drowning them. And they do that once and pull them up, and then Queen says, I have an idea. We're going to play a new game. So he says, dunk him, so he dunks him again, and he says, we're immediately starting the sumo tournament thing back up again right now. And he said that it's same as always for you, Straw Hat. If you get knocked out of the arena, the blades in your collar are going to sever your head. You will die immediately. But for however long you're alive in the arena, these guys will stay underwater. So they are going to drown slowly while you're surviving. Luffy, being Luffy, gets very pissed, rightfully so. He said, he's like, Kid and Killer, they got nothing to do with me. Why are you doing this? And Queen's like, well, you say that, but why are you hesitating? If they have nothing to do with you, why are you? And it's a good point. If Luffy doesn't care about him at all, why are you hesitating? So he said, you claim you don't, nothing to do with them, but that's not the case, or you wouldn't be hesitating. Luffy throws a punch, though. Queen just flings it off, no big deal. I don't think it was a super serious punch, but Luffy's also being restrained a little bit, so Queen might be stronger than Luffy right now. We don't know for sure. It's hard to say, but Queen shrugs it off, and Queen is mad because Queen has not had the food that he always wants to have. Oshiruko, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but that's what, he hasn't had any today, or she, because I'm not sure of the gender, but Queen has not had any of that today. And the other people that help work in the people in the prison, the beast pirates in the prison, they're like, oh, Queen's mad today because Queen hasn't had any of that food, the Oshiruko, that he usually wants to have. So that's why, and Queen tells everyone because he's in a grumpy mood. He said, you guys don't get it. Do you really think that you'll get out of here alive? You understand that you guys are just dead. It doesn't matter, no matter how much you fight and how many people you continue to beat. Whenever we feel like killing you, you're dead. That's all there is to it. Like, you are just dead. You guys don't understand. Everyone here will die, is what Queen is saying. And Luffy gets very mad and says, you don't understand. I will. One moment. Okay, I think it's passed. at least enough. But yeah, Luffy gets really, really mad, and he says, no, you don't understand. I will choose where, when, and how I die. You don't get it. Not, I understand perfectly. It's you who doesn't understand, Queen. Which, by the way, some of you guys might remember, some might not, but it's kind of like a throwback. If you guys don't recall, because Doflamingo is involved with this as well, so that's why I think this is beautiful. But if you don't recall, Doflamingo says the same thing to Law whenever he is going to kill him. He says, Law, only the strong in this world get to choose how they die. Anyone who's not strong, they simply will suffer the fate that they've been given whenever it comes time for them to die. And it's almost like it's stuck with Luffy, and he's like, no, I am strong, and because I'm strong, I will pick where I die, when I die. Or maybe Luffy being Luffy, he probably doesn't even remember exactly that I don't even know if he was there whenever it was said, but it's just important to note that those two are, they're parallels that you can draw. They're similar. Law said it, Luffy said it. Or, sorry, not Law. Doflamingo said it, Luffy said it. Now, whether or not one said it because of Luffy said it because of Doflamingo isn't certain, but regardless, it drives that point home. The strong choose how they die. So that's what he says. And at this point in the chapter, I'm very close to the end, I theorize that maybe Kid and Luffy are going to work together to fight Queen and get out, or maybe just fight Queen long enough for Big Mom to get there, cause some havoc, and then they can escape. But just so Kid doesn't die, which I thought that might have been the case. But at the very end of the last panel, one of the last things that we see, we hear a noise, and some of the workers in the prison, they're like, what was that noise? And then it shows us a panel of Big Mom, like in her, I don't know what that form is called, if it has a form, but she's just like brainless. She's just dead set on wanting this kind of food, and she will stop at nothing to get it. That, that destructive power that she has, and that is the state that she is in. You can see her, no pupils in her eyes. She's drooling, and she just says Oshiriku, which is or Ruko, which is what Queen was supposed to eat today too. And guess what? They said he hasn't had any today, meaning what? There's none there. So Big Mom is going to get there and just destroy everything because the food that she wants is not there. So I thought they'd work together, but now they don't need to. Because she's at the gate. The workers say it sounded like that came from the front gate. And then it shows Big Mom. So Big Mom is at the front gate, like very, very soon. Unless we get like a fight chapter next, if they do what they've been doing, where it's like half of Straw Hat Crew at Bakuro Town, and then Luffy, whatever he's doing in prison. Like if they keep doing the half chapters, the next chapter we should see Big Mom bust into this prison, and all hell is going to break loose. Regardless, this chapter, I will give it a 10 out of 10. There's no break scheduled, so unless we have an unscheduled break, we should get a chapter next week, which would be very, very good. Be very happy, because we've had a good bit of breaks somewhat recently, so I'm a little tired of them. But no break announced. Should get a chapter next week unless it's an unannounced break. As I said, I'd give the chapter a 10 out of 10 for sure. This was a very good chapter. It was a setup chapter, but it's very exciting. So I'm happy. This chapter was super, super good. And no matter where you turn right now, there is going to be action. Even if we go to Law, Law's probably checking in on his crew, trying to get them out or whatever. Even that, like, I would be happy to have that. So no matter where we go, next chapter, I'm sure it's going to be something that's good and exciting to read, and I'm going to enjoy it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video.